The pie charts compare home ownership and renting for 1991 and 2007. In 1991, a homeowner was the most popular type of housing, accounting for almost 60%, or more than over half of all homes. The next largest sector was social rented homes, amounting to approximately 23% or nearly one-third of homes. The remaining homes were mostly privately rented, 11%, with a tiny fraction being social housing, 6%. 16 years later, in 2007, the number of homeowners had risen to 70% or almost three-quarters of all homes. This was an increase of 10% compared with 1991. The percentage of privately rented homes had remained unchanged at 11%. However, there were 5 million more homes in 2007 compared with 1991, so the number of rented homes had increased despite the same percentage. India's land usage is depicted on this map. Colors of yellow and green show the quantity of arable land and forest in India, respectively. The color orange indicates that a large quantity of unproductive land is concentrated in the northernmost part of the map. Non-agricultural terrain is shown by the red coloration towards the northeast. The great bulk of India's land is either used for agriculture or is covered in forest. In this picture, few people are exercising as a team. They are doing exercise in a gym, as we can see other equipment used in a gymnasium. Exercise balls can be seen at the back. Team exercising is very beneficial as compared to exercising alone. 3 of them seem to be very enthusiastic about particular exercise. Third person from the left seems to be less energetic and happy. Group exercise gives motivation. Group exercise classes are a great way of meeting new people whilst also staying healthy. Coffee house data is depicted in the graph. A coffee maker and 2 baristas may be seen on the left side of the graph, as can be seen by looking at it. According to the graph, it's obvious that looking to the right there are 2 ladies and 2 males to be seen. Looking at the graph, it's obvious that a counter and a tablet can be seen in the center. So there you have it, an informative image of a coffee shop. The city of Delhi continues to be concerned about rising pollution levels. According to a Beijing pollution source, Arkapuram had 985 micrograms per cubic meter of particle matter in the air at 9:20 p.m. during Diwali. At 3 a.m. and 2 a.m., respectively, and Bihar and Punjabi Ba recorded 758 and 853 microgram/m3 of particle matter. When compared to other filthy cities throughout the world, Shenyang, 1,157, and Beijing are not far behind, 722. Singapore, 471, on the other hand, falls considerably behind in this respect. A customer's purchase of grapes is seen in the graph. According to the graph, the initial step is the cultivation of fruits. Grapes will be transported to a food processing business from here on out. As seen in the graph, grapes enter the conveyor belt at this point, according to the graph. Next, the grapes will be packed into cartons, making it apparent what comes next. Finally, the graph shows that these packaged grapes are transported to the supermarket where customers can purchase them. In summary, there are 5 steps to this procedure. The bar graph shows TV watching habits among children of different age groups. The age group 5 to 7 watches TV for approximately 7 hours, whereas children in the age group 8 to 10 watch TV for around 8 hours a day. The age group which watches less TV in a day is age group 11 to 13. The children of this age group watch TV for 4 hours. So overall, the age group 8 to 10 watches more TV as compared to other groups. The median and average sales price of new homes sold in the United States from 1963 to 2011 is shown in this line graph. This progressively increased in value until it peaked in 2007 at about $310,000 on average, and $200,000 on the median. While sales prices rose gradually from 1963 and 2007, there was a dramatic drop in 2009, perhaps due to the global financial crisis, to roughly $275,000 on average and around $225,000 as a median price. This pie chart shows the percentage of injuries that occur in various places, such as at home, at work, on the road, at school or daycare, or at leisure or sports. The graphic shows that 41.4% of injuries occur at home, followed by 17.1% on the road, and 15.2% in a recreational facility. In addition, 4.8% of the population is in school, while the rest of the population makes up only 2% of the entire population. In the end, the most risky location to get hurt is at home. The two diagrams show how electricity can be generated from the rise and fall of water caused by sea waves. The process involves a structure which is mounted on the side of a cliff or a sea wall. This structure consists of a large chamber. One end is open to the sea, and the other leads into a vertical column, which is open to the atmosphere. The first diagram indicates that when a wave approaches the device, water is forced into the chamber, applying pressure on the air within the column. The second diagram illustrates the next part of the process when wave retreats. As a result, electricity continues to be generated. The turbine rotates only in one direction, regardless of the direction of the airflow. The numerous climatic zones of this planet are depicted in this map, with latitudes 60°N and 60°S indicating the northern and southernmost regions of the Earth. The polar zone may be found. The yellow areas denote the temperate zone, between 30°N and 60°N, as well as 30°S to 60°S latitudes. The green regions on the globe represent the location of the tropical zone. The Arctic, temperate, and tropical regions all fall under the umbrella term climate zones. The map informs us about the differences between old and new computers. The image on the left depicts an antique computer that is quite large and heavy, and we can see that it is made up of several other devices work. When we look at the new laptop, however, we see that it is very handy and portable. Also, individuals simply need to lay their hands on the keyboards to type sentences. Finally, there is a clear distinction between old and modern computers. The procedure outlines the actions necessary to address an issue. In order to begin, you need to identify the issue. The next step is to come up with new concepts. The last phase is deciding on a solution and then constructing the final product. In the fifth phase, the item is evaluated. It is time to deliver the findings. Responding to an issue involves a number of steps, the first of which is articulating the problem and the last of which is providing the results. From 1900 to 2000, this line graph displays how much water was used throughout the world per sector. Roughly 100 cubic kilometers of water was used for industrial and household purposes in 1990, while around 500 cubic kilometers of water was used for agricultural purposes. By the year 2000, the amount of water used for both home and industrial purposes had grown to roughly 300 cubic kilometers and 1,200 cubic kilometers, respectively. But by 2000, the amount of water used in agriculture had surpassed both of these figures, with a total of 3,000 cubic kilometers. In both 1900 and 2000, the majority of water was used for agricultural purposes across the world. Flower components are depicted in this schematic of a mature flower. The ovary, stamen, and perianth appear to be the three principal components of this flower. The ovary is located in the center of the flower, surrounded by two stamens on either side and an anther microsporangium surrounding the ovules. Petals and sepals make up the rest of the perianth. The full bloom consists of a large number of components, although there are a few primary sections. The given images are showing two different types of feelings and emotions. In the first picture, few children are laughing their heart out. The children look very innocent and enjoying the moment. The children seem to be underprivileged. On the other hand, the second picture is of a very old person who seems to be very tired and depressed. Wrinkles can be seen on the face of old person. Two types of feelings are shown in these pictures, one is happiness and laughter and other is gloomy and poignant. Dining table data is depicted in the graph. When we look to the left, we can clearly see a mother and a baby, as shown in the graph. According to the graph, we can clearly distinguish a guy and a lady on the right side of the graph. According to the graph, we can clearly see a table and some food at the bottom of the graph. To summarize, this is an excellent image of a dining table. The flags of the United Arab Emirates and Jordan may be seen in the images to the left. The matching red, green, black, and white colors of both flags give them a striking likeness. The red rectangle on the left side of the UAE flag stands out in comparison to the red triangle on the Jordanian flag. Jordan's red triangle has a little star in the center, which is absent from the UAE's flag. Overall, although UAE's flag and Jordan's flag bear striking similarities, they still have notable differences. A customer's purchase of grapes is seen in the graph. According to the graph, the initial step is the cultivation of fruits. Grapes will be transported to a food processing business from here on out. As seen in the graph, grapes enter the conveyor belt at this point, according to the graph. Next, the grapes will be packed into cartons, making it apparent what comes next. Finally, the graph shows that these packaged grapes are transported to the supermarket where customers can purchase them. In summary, there are 5 steps to this procedure. The graph depicts how frequently Americans eat at fast food establishments. For example, when we look at July 2003, we can clearly see that roughly 30% of people are found in the once-a-week category and about 5% of people are located in the daily category. On the graph, it is evident that the biggest number can be found in once or twice a month, which is about 30%, and the smallest number can be found in every day, which is around 5%. This graph indicates that 1 in 5 Americans consume fast food on a regular basis.